morning, New Home. My name is Hilda Brown Tuck. It is indeed a pleasure and through humbleness that I am so happy that Reverend Todd asked me to deliver the church history for our 137th celebration. I would like to greet Reverend Todd, deacons, guests, and members of the New Home Baptist Church. It is with humbleness that I am addressing you. I have already known we have been exposed to the history of our church, but we deserve to continue this introduction to our new members and to refresh our older ones. It is no question we have had our ups and downs, but God has continued to bless us in so many ways. In the year of 1884, this is the closest time we have been able to pin down our church first structure being built, which everyone always liked to introduce the part of the bush harbor. A frame structure with limbs, bushes, and on top to help keep us sheltered from the weather. A log structure was added later. Reverend Joe Leonard became the first pastor. There were other pastors also within this time frame. Reverend Joe McKinney, Reverend Milton Lowes, Reverend Alan Moore, Reverend Snowden, Reverend E.T. Simpson, Reverend Lipscomb, Reverend Parnell, Reverend Massengale may have pastored even in 1938. And the exact location of this building is not known, but it is here on these grounds. The second structure was built out of wood and planks. This was built facing the cemetery as it is today. The building had no windows, but shutters were there to enter light and air. Kerosene lamps were used to light the church at night when the shutters were closed. A wood burner stove was used for heat. The church was furnished with wooden pews, and if I'm not mistaken, in the educational wing downstairs in the basement, we still have one of those today. When we brought food, it was served outside. There was no musical instruments or choir loft. Several pastors in this building, the pastor to pastor last was Reverend Massengale and Reverend Cole. It is believed Reverend Cole was the last pastor that was in the second structure and the members in the third structure in 1940. He left New Home Baptist Church before the structure was completed. The name of the church was changed to Shiloh, from Shiloh to Our New Home. Later, our was removed and we said, this is our new home. The third structure was built on cement blocks. The building was built by one of the church deacons and other members. The members had to be very excited about this structure because it included electrical lights, gas heat, windows with panes. The pews were stained and were made to curve to the back of your back, so that made it so much more comfortable during that period of time. We had a piano and a choir loft that was added. We remained without a dining area, but later a small area was added for serving our food that still had to be taken outside. Reverend E.A. Boone was the pastor in this structure. He served as pastor for 27 years. I thought this would be a good time to acknowledge the times of the shape note singing. First Sunday in May, from that time forward to present day. There were people that came from miles around to participate in the singing and having fellowship with each other. He led us into our fourth church building of worship in 1970. This has truly been a blessing. During this time in the new building, we were able to have padded seats, air conditioning, and heat system that was upgraded, new updates to dining and fellowship hall, and indoor bathrooms. Reverend Boone retired from pastoring New Home Baptist Church in 1970. Reverend M.E. Robinson followed Reverend Boone in 1972. Reverend Robinson served for 6 years under his pastorship, the beginning of worshiping twice a month. Next was Reverend Nathaniel Wright in 1978. He pastored for 10 years. He led us into worshiping every Sunday. Reverend Lynch was next, and he pastored us for 2 years. We purchased our first van. Reverend Eddie Pope served us for 5 years. The vision of renovating our building or building a new building came under his pastorship. Next, Reverend Caldwell served as the pastor. He kept the idea alive of a new sanctuary. The first plans was drawn while he was our pastor. Also, on November 19th, 2009, the New Home Missionary Baptist Church Cemetery was listed as a historical site under the state of Alabama, African American cemeteries. You know, God is truly amazing. In the year of August 2010, much prayer to God, he sent us a young man from Columbia, Missouri, by way of Dallas, Texas. Pastor Todd and Sister Shay listened to God and stepped out on faith and found their way to the New Home Missionary Baptist Church in Hyssop, Alabama. Through his leadership and all our prayers, we are in this new sanctuary of worship with all great expectations of growing by the grace of God. We are assisting in the growth of our community, worshiping God, and witnessing to the world. I'm, again, very humbled to be able to ask to do this. I wish everyone a blessed day, and thank you again, Pastor Todd.